Hey guys, it is Christian here, and welcome to my final Oscar winner predictions. Before we get into this, please like and subscribe and tell me your own predictions, and tell me what do you think of my predictions. With all that said, let's get started. We're going to go through all 23 categories. So we have a lot to go through today, so let's get started. We're going to start with Best Live Action Short, and the nominees here are Feeling Through, The Letter Room, The Present, Two Distant Strangers, and White Eye. This is a two-way race between The Letter Room and Two Distant Strangers. The Letter Room has Oscar Isaac in it, and Two Distant Strangers is extremely accessible, extremely accessible. However, I think while The Letter Room does have star power, I think they're going to go with Two Distant Strangers because it feels like something the Oscars would go for, and it's also extremely accessible. So I think that they're going to go for it. So for live action short, I'm going to predict Two Distant Strangers. And then we have Best Documentary Short Subject, and the nominees here are Colette, A Concerto as a Conversation, Do Not Split, Hunger Ward, and A Love Song for Latasha. This is another two-horse race between A Concerto as a Conversation and A Love Song for Latasha. This is probably the tightest two-way race. I could literally see both of these films winning. Any of these two winning. Concerto as a Conversation is about the Green Book composer. It's a lot more lighthearted than something like Love Song for Latasha, which is extremely impactful, and it might be a little bit too much. Which, maybe not, though. Both feel like stuff that could win at the Oscars. It's not like the live-action short category where I don't really see The Letter Room winning, even though it has Oscar Isaac, and I could see Two Distant Strangers winning because of how accessible it is. I could literally see both of these films winning because both of them feel like they would win. However, I'm going to give the edge to Concerto as a Conversation because I don't see Netflix sweeping the short categories. It's kind of a spoiler for my next pick, though, so yeah. Love Song for Latasha can win. That can win. And Netflix could win all the short categories, but I'm not sure if they will, so I'm going to go Concerto as a Conversation. And then for wrapping up the short categories, we have Best Animated Short, and the nominees here are Burrow, Genius Loci, If Anything Happens, I Love You, Opera, and Yes People. I think this is the easiest out of the short categories. I think this is going to If Anything Happens, I Love You. I've seen Burrow and If Anything Happens, I Love You. I've seen both of those shorts. Burrow is sweet. It is a really sweet short, and the Oscars could go for it mainly because it is Pixar. However, If Anything Happens, I Love You just destroyed me. I'll say it. Yeah, it destroyed me. It's a beautiful short. Maybe like Love Song for Latasha, it might be a little bit too heavy-handed in terms of emotion, but I still think it's more in this favor because this category has less competition. So I'm gonna go with If Anything Happens, I Love You here. So we're done with short categories. So I'm predicting Two Distant Strangers, A Concerto as a Conversation, and If Anything Happens, I Love You to win these three short categories. Now we're on to Best International Feature, and the nominees here are Another Round, Better Days, Collective, The Man Who Sold His Skin, and Quo Vadis Ida. This one's easy. Another Round, easy. Basically because there's no competition here. And the Thomas Vinterberg's director nomination made it even more easy. So this one is definitely easy to predict. So I'm easily going with Another Round. And then we have Best Documentary Feature, and the nominees here are Collective, Crip Camp, The Mole Agent, My Octopus Teacher, and Time. I think this one's another easy one. It didn't really look like an easy one in the beginning, but as the season went on, it became extremely easy. My Octopus Teacher is definitely the frontrunner here. And I'd kind of be shocked if it lost. Maybe a little bit not shocked, but I'd be shocked if it lost. because of how well it's doing. It won the PGA for a documentary. It won the BAFTA, and I didn't even think it would win the BAFTA because I was saying, oh, that might be too easy. That might be too easy. But no, they still went with it, so it looks like it is going to be predictable as we think. And I thought it wouldn't be. I thought the BAFTAs would shake it up a little bit and give it to something like Collective. Collective has no shot to win both of its awards. A lot of people think it might win one, but I don't think it's winning both of its categories. It's not going to win any of them, I don't think. I don't really think Time's going to win either. It just doesn't feel like something that would win. I would even say the runner-up here is probably Crip Camp because it was produced by the Obamas. They did I think their company produced American Factory. I think that's what led it to a win. If it won, though, I'm not sure how I would feel about it. And I haven't seen it, but I think you should personally, this is just my opinion, you should give an Oscar to a movie that is actually good and not just because of the people who are in it or who are involved in it. That's just my opinion, which is why I think My Octopus Teacher will win it for sure. But Crip Camp is one I am kind of looking out for. But I'm definitely going to predict My Octopus Teacher. And now we have Best Animated Feature Film, and the nominees here are Onward, Over the Moon, a Shaun the Sheep movie for Armageddon, Soul, and Wolfwalkers. Do I even need to say what's winning? It's Soul. Easy. I don't need to say anything else other than Soul's winning this category. It's probably the easiest thing here. Moving on. Now we're on to the technical categories. We're starting with Best Visual Effects. And the nominees here are Love and Monsters, The Midnight Sky, Mulan, The One and Only Ivan, and Tenet. This is Midnight Sky versus Tenet. Midnight Sky won Visual Effects Society. And Tenet won Critics' Choice and BAFTA. Critics' Choice are not good at predicting this category. I'm just going to say that right away. They're not good at it. Because Endgame won last year. Black Panther won the year before. That wasn't even nominated at the Oscars. I think War for the Planet of the Apes, won over Blade Runner 2049. So yeah, they're not good at predicting this category. However, another award Tenet has is the BAFTA. And the BAFTAs are good at predicting it. They went with 1917 last year, won the Critics' Choice one with Endgame, and the two major awards at Visual Effects Society went to Lion King and Irishman, and the BAFTA went to 1917, as I said before, and 1971. So I'm going to rely with the BAFTAs here. I'm going to go with Tenet. Midnight Sky could, upset. It could. But I think it is Tenet. I think it will go to Tenet. It's not a 100% lock, but I'm going to go with Tenet. Also, shout out to One and Only Ivan. That movie's great. So, yeah. And now we're on to Best Sound, and the nominees here are Greyhound, Mank, News of the World, Soul, and Sound of Metal. Well, this is what happens when you don't have notes with you. And this is what happens when you don't write scripts. But yeah, this is going to Sound of Metal. This is another easy one. I think Sound of Metal will win this for sure. So yeah, I don't really need to say anything else because nothing else has a real good shot at winning. I think Greyhound won at one of the sound guilds, but I think they're going to do Sound of Metal. So yeah. Now we're on to the music categories. Now we're on to Best Original Song, and the nominees here are Fight For You from Judas and the Black Messiah, Hear My Voice from The Trial of Chicago 7, Husavik from Eurovision Song Contest, The Story of Fire Saga, EOC Scene from The Life Ahead, and Speak Now from One Night in Miami. It's Husavik versus EOC versus Speak Now. EOC won the Golden Globe, and Diane Warren's Overdue. However, it's not really a song I see winning. I don't see them giving it to EOC. So I'm gonna take that one out. So that makes it Husavik versus Speak Now. Husavik has been surging lately. It has been surging. A lot of people are predicting it now. Oh, it's number 2 on Gold Derby. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say that Husavik is gonna win. And Husavik could actually win. And one thing Husavik has going for it is that this song's actually is actually in the movie. All these other songs are like in the credits, and Here's a Big is actually in the film, which gives it a big boost, I think. However, Speak Now is Leslie Odom Jr., and I'm not really sure if they're gonna resist Leslie Odom Jr. I don't think EOC is gonna win. So it's, and also, Here's a Big does have the song being in the film actually going for it. But Speak Now is Leslie Odom Jr., and I'm not sure if they're gonna resist. So I'm gonna predict Speak Now, but I might be wrong. Like, I'm not overly confident in this one, but I'm gonna predict Speak Now. And now we're on the Best Original Score, and the nominees here are Da 5 Bloods, composed by Terrence Blanchard; Mank, composed by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross; Minari, composed by Emile Mosseri; News of the World, composed by James Newton Howard; and Soul, composed by Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross, and Jon Batiste. This is another easy one. Soul. Soul's been winning every single major score award. Won a lot of critic circles. Won the Golden Globe. It won, I think, at one of the music guilds. It won Critics' Choice, and it won the BAFTA. So you should not bet against Soul. Moving on. Best Production Design. The nominees here are The Father, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Mank, News of the World, and Tenet. This is another easy tech category. Mank. Absolutely easy. So yeah. That's pretty much all I have to say. They could do something else, like if they really wanted to, but it's going to Mank. It hasn't lost anywhere for production design. Now we're on the Best Makeup and Hairstyling, and the nominees here are Emma, Hillbilly Elegy, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Mank, and Pinocchio. This is going to Ma Rainey. Another lock here is it's going to Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Pinocchio had like a little shot, but now it doesn't. It's going to go to Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. That's all I have to say. Best Film Editing. Nominees here are The Father, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and Trial of Chicago 7. This is Sound of Metal versus Trial of Chicago 7, one of the more ambiguous tech categories. Sound of Metal tied with Trial of Chicago 7 at Critics' Choice, and it won the BAFTA. And Trial of Chicago 7 tied with Sound of Metal at Critics' Choice, and it won the A.C. Eddy Award. So I literally don't know what would win. However, the reason why I'm predicting Chicago 7 is that it's the more conventional editing winner. I think that's really important. Sound of Metal, like, it could win because it's winning sound, and that's one thing that people are saying. But Chicago 7's, I think, is the more accessible. It's the more conventional, and it's editing winner. It's the most showy. It's the most editing out of all of them. So I think they're going to go with Trial of Chicago 7. And now we're on to Best Costume Design, and the nominees here are Emma, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Mank, Mulan, and Pinocchio. This is another slam dunk tech category. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom is going to win. And it won Critics' Choice, it won BAFTA, which Emma was supposed to win there, so that just gives Ma Rainey a bigger boost. And then also won the Costumes Guild. So, yeah, most of these tech categories are really straightforward. There's only a few, like editing an original song and some part visual effects that are up in the air, but most of them are pretty straightforward. So yeah, Ma Rainey, this is Ma Rainey's to lose. I don't see anything else here winning. And now for the last of the technical categories, we have Best Cinematography, and the nominees here are Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, News of the World, Nomadland, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. It's ridiculous that that's in there, even though I did predict it, but still. Doesn't really have great cinematography. This is not a slam dunk. This is actually not a slam dunk for Nomadland. Nomadland is what I am going to predict to win. However, Mank won the it won the ASC, Cinematographer Guild Award. However, the Cinematographers Guild Award aren't really the American Society of Cinematographer Guild aren't really that good at predicting this category. They went with like Cold War. They like black and white movies a lot, so I think Nomadland's gonna win here. But Mank could maybe upset, and I'd probably freak out. So yeah, we're done with tech categories. Now we're going to the 8 major awards, starting with Best Original Screenplay. And the nominees here are Judas and the Black Messiah, Minari, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of Chicago 7. This category actually isn't as locked in as people think it is. People think it's Promising Young Woman, and it's done. And yes, I am going to predict Promising Young Woman because it's won the most awards. It won Critics' Choice, WGA, and the BAFTA. However, I'm hearing from some sources that this race is closer than we think, and that maybe means that maybe Aaron Sorkin could still win for Chicago 7. Or maybe that Minari could win screenplay if they really like it as much as Parasite. And give it screenplay, director, and picture. No, giving it director would be ridiculous, though. And if Chicago 7 wins, it could still win Best Picture despite it missing director. Or I'd probably say that's like the runner-up in picture right now. But I think this is Promising Young Woman. I think that I think Promising Young Woman will win. So yeah. And then we have Best Adapted Screenplay, and the nominees here are Borat Subsequent Movie Film, The Father, Nomadland, One Night in Miami, and The White Tiger. This is a 2-horse race between The Father and Nomadland. A lot of people think Nomadland's going to win, and it could still win. However, I made this rule for myself that I have to predict at least one upset. Maybe I can predict more, but I have to predict at least one. And one of those upsets I'm choosing is that I'm going to go with The Father here because it's the more accessible screenplay winner. It's the more conventional, It's the more conventional screenplay winner. Nomadland's not a conventional screenplay winner. And also, this is a year like 2014 and 2018 where I can see each Best Picture nominee at least winning one award. I could see that happening. And so, yeah. And also, Nomadland does not need screenplay to win Best Picture, because it's winning director anyways. So, yeah. So, Nomadland technically doesn't need this award to win, which is why I am going to go with The Father here. One Night in Miami and Borat are, not going to win because they're not nominated for Best Picture, and the screenplay winner's, always nominated for Best Picture in both categories. And now we're on to the acting categories. Nominees for... we're going to start with Best Supporting Actor, and the nominees here are Sacha Baron Cohen for The Trial of Chicago 7, Daniel Kaluuya for Judas and the Black Messiah, Leslie Odom Jr. for One Night in Miami, Paul Raci for Sound of Metal, and Lakeith Stanfield in Judas and the Black Messiah. That was, the biggest surprise of Oscar morning. That and, Love and Monsters and Thomas Vinterberg were, huge surprises. This is Daniel Kaluuya's to lose. This is the easiest out of the 4 acting categories, and the one with no competition at all. That's pretty much all I have to say. Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield are not going to cancel each other out. Just because there's 2 nominees, maybe from the same movie or same studio or something, doesn't mean they're going to cancel each other out, and then another movie's going to win. That's not going to happen in the animated feature category either. Soul and Onward are not going to cancel each other out, and then Wolfwalkers is going to win. Soul's still going to win. And it's the same here. Daniel Kaluuya's swept. He's won every single major acting precursor. So, it's easy to go with him. It's an obvious category. And now we're on to Best Supporting Actress. The nominees here are Maria Bakalova in Borat Subsequent Movie Film, Glenn Close for Hillbilly Elegy, Olivia Colman for The Father, Amanda Seyfried for Mank, and Yoo Jung-yoon for Minari. At the beginning of award season, at the beginning of the award season, we had no idea who was going to win. This was the hardest of the acting categories, And now it seems Best Actress is the hardest. But after SAG and BAFTA, this award seems pretty locked in for Ye Jun-yoon. And she won BAFTA and she won the SAG. I think she's gonna win this one. I would say the potential upset's Maria Bakalova because she won Critics' Choice. But yeah, and also Jodie Foster. And this is like this might be like the first year that the Golden Globes are like wrong here because Jodie Foster won and she's not even nominated. This is the first year where the Golden Globes are going to be wrong because Jodie Foster's not even nominated here. And also, like, imagine if, like, Glenn Close or Olivia Colman upset. That'd be ridiculous. That's not going to happen. And I think Ye Jun-yoon is going to win this. It's not a 100% lock, but it could happen. So I'm going to go with Ye Jun-yoon. And now on the Best Actor, one I want to talk about so badly. The nominees here are Riz Ahmed for Sound of Metal, Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Anthony Hopkins for The Father, Gary Oldman for Mank, and Steven Yeun for Minari. At the beginning of award season, we thought Chadwick Boseman had this in the bag. We really thought he had it in the bag. However, at the BAFTAs, Anthony Hopkins decided to give him a little competition. So now I literally have no idea who's winning, actually. A lot of people are still going to say, they're still going to give it to Chadwick Boseman. It's still going to be a done deal. Like, there's no way they don't give it to Boseman. There is a way they don't give it to Boseman, because I heard from, like, some of the voters that they think Chadwick Boseman's going to win, but they're voting for Hopkins because they think he's the better performance. That's not a good sign to me, in my opinion. So Boseman does not have this 100% locked in. It is a 2-horse race. I heard one person say it's a 3-horse race because Riz Ahmed just won the Indie Spirit Award. No, the Indie Spirits don't really mean a lot for the Oscars. Like, Paul Raci won there yesterday, but he's obviously not going to win Supporting Actor because Daniel Kaluuya's just so freaking strong. So, yeah. But the Indie Spirits might have a little bit of impact on the Oscars because of the actress categories and stuff. So, yeah. And Chadwick Boseman, like, imagine the backlash that's going to occur if he doesn't win. Like, the backlash is going to be strong, I think. So I think he might be, like, the right winner to give, but in my opinion, Hopkins is the better performance. But I don't want to put my personal opinion here. If you're going by the most awards, you would go with Chadwick Boseman. But the BAFTA upset is just such, like, it's in my head more so than others who are just going to say Chadwick Boseman's still going to win despite Hopkins winning because they think he has a home turf advantage. But do you know who else had a home turf advantage? Olivia Colman had it. Mark Rylance had it. They still both won, and they were upsets because Glenn Close and Sylvester Stallone had narratives to win their Oscars, but they still didn't win. Yeah, but this time, though, Boseman, like, this is the last chance that you have to award him. And that's another thing. You guys can call me crazy if you want. You guys can call me crazy. I think Boseman does have a chance to win. However, I feel that Hopkins' upset is coming. I definitely feel that Hopkins' upset is going to come. And if Boseman still wins, I'm going to regret doing this. I'm going to have, like, instant karma because I'm going to completely regret doing this. But I'm going to predict Anthony Hopkins. That's the other long shot I'm going to predict. I'm going to predict Anthony Hopkins, actually, is going to win for The Father. Like, that BAFTA upset's just such... It's in my head a lot. And I think he is going to upset. Like, I'm not going to predict Boseman and then get it wrong. And say, I knew that upset was going to come. I'm actually going to predict that upset, and I'm going to go with Anthony Hopkins. And as I said before, Chadwick Boseman wins. I'm going to regret this for the rest of my life. But as it is right now, I'm going to go with Anthony Hopkins. You guys can type angrily in the comment section if you guys want to. And now we're on a Best Actress. The nominees here are Viola Davis for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Andra Day for The United States vs. Billie Holiday, Vanessa Kirby for Pieces of a Woman, Frances McDormand for Nomadland, and Carey Mulligan for Promising a Woman. I'm going to call it right now. All 5 of these actresses are going to end up winning. There's not going to be one winner, and there's not going to be a tie. All 5 of them are going to win. No, I'm kidding. I would say anyone except Vanessa Kirby has a chance to win. So we're going to do process of elimination here. Andra Day, I'm not buying the whole Andra Day thing. A lot of people think she's going to win. And she didn't win the Golden Globe, which is a huge precursor for Best Actress. A huge. So I'm not going to doubt her, but I would say she's the least likely out of the 4 to win. And also, Frances McDormand, I'm not sure if she's going to win her 3rd acting Oscar. She could. She could. But she's already going to win her 3rd Oscar because she's producing Nomadland. She's credited as a producer for Nomadland. And she's nominated for Best Picture because she is the producer for Nomadland. So I'm not sure if she wins this. Which means it's Viola Davis versus Carey Mulligan. And I'm constantly switching between these 2 on Gold Derby. Just like Hopkins and Bozeman, I'm constantly switching between the 2. And I'm not confident in this at all. But as of right now, I'm going to go with Carey Mulligan. I'm going to go with Carey Mulligan, I guess. Viola Davis could win. She could win. And so can Frances McDormand and Andra Day. Heck, maybe even Kirby has a shot. But Viola Davis is kind of giving me Denzel and Fences vibes just a little bit. So I'm going to predict Carey Mulligan as of right now, but it might change before the show. So yeah, I'm going to predict Carey Mulligan. And now we're on to Best Director. The nominees here are Thomas Vinterberg for Another Round, David Fincher for Mank, Lee Isaac Chung for Minari, Chloe Zhao for Nomadland, and Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman. Chloe Zhao. That's all I pretty much have to say. Let's go on to Chloe Zhao. This is tied with Soul and Animated as the easiest category here. Heck, even if Nomadland didn't win Best Picture for whatever reason, they're still going to give it to Chloe Zhao. Chloe Zhao's still going to win Director. So even if Chicago 7 or Minari or something wins Best Picture, Chloe Zhao is still going to win Director. There's no runner-up. There's no runner-up. Chloe Zhao is going to win Director, and she's going to become the first woman of color to win Director, and she's also going to become the second woman in general to win Best Director. The first was Catherine Bigelow for Hurt Locker. So yeah, Chloe Zhao has this in the bag, and I think she's going to win for sure. And now for the grand finale, Best Picture. The nominees here are The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah. Sorry because I didn't write a script. Mank, Minari, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of Chicago 7. I think this is Nomadland's Oscar. It has completely swept everywhere. Golden Globe, Critics' Choice, PGA, BAFTA. Won all of that. It's not a 100% lock. Chloe Zhao is a 100% lock to win. This is a 95. Maybe even a 90. I would say the runner-up here, despite it not having a director nomination, I would probably say it's Chicago 7 because, imagine if it just wins screenplay. That could be a huge thing for Chicago 7 during the night if it does win screenplay. I'm going to go with Nomadland, though, and I feel pretty confident that Nomadland will win, and it's going to be the first year since 12 Years a Slave that the BAFTAs are actually right. But there could be an upset. There maybe could be an upset. So yeah, those are my final Oscar winner predictions in all 23 categories. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Tell me what you think of my predictions, and tell me your own predictions. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.